Good morning. How are you guys? There she is. I see the wave. Okay, let's go. Everybody's ready. Standing up. Take your feet to the edges of your mat. Let's just take a nice big deep breath. Reach for the ceiling. Try to get your arms really long as you can get. Spread your fingers wide and pull your belly in. Oh my goodness, she's so demanding. Yes. Why? Because it's good for us. Take your arms parallel to the floor. Give me a little rotation to the right without moving the hips, just the arms. And then come back and go to the other side. And then just sort of oscillate between the two. Keep your arms nice and long so they're reaching. Should feel like work. Just holding them like this. And it doesn't need to be a huge movement. You're just sort of floating from side to side. Okay, now make a fist and take those elbows all the way back and squeeze them into each other and fold halfway down while you pull your stomach in and then come back up. So really try to pull the elbows towards each other while you keep them high. We're going to just do one more. Now release the arms and fold all the way down. Let your head go. So you're just looking through your knees. And if your hands can't get to the floor quite yet, that's okay. Just gonna sort of dangle here. Maybe move your hips a little bit from side to side. Waking up your inner thigh muscles and the outer glutes. Shifting your body with the hips. Make sure you're not holding the head up. You just sort of want to let it hang where it wants to. Okay, let's stay nice and square. You're going to inhale to a flat back. And then you're going to fold back down. Do that again. Inhale to a flat back. And fold back down. One more time. Now, when you hold down in your fold, I want you to walk your feet hip width apart. Let's just stay here and breathe a few more times. You're in a straight leg if you're able to be. Now, inhale to a flat back. And let's take your hands above the knees and help yourself back up to standing. Nice. Take that right arm, sweep it all the way up. Right up towards the ceiling. So you're getting a nice little stretch down the right side of the body. And lift it up and go over a little bit. Just hang here for a sec. And then come back. Do the same on the other arm. Sweep it nice and long, straight up first. And then take it up and over a little. Nice. Okay, come on back. You're going to clasp your fingers together and pick your knee up. Pull it up and into the chest as you circle your foot. Change your direction. And then point and flex. And do the same on the opposite side. Pull your knee up as high as you can get it. Then start your circles. To help you balance, it's always good to just sort of stare in one place. Go the other way. Point and flex. And release that foot. You're going to take your elbows to your hips. Squeeze the your hands to your hips. Squeeze the elbows together and then open them forward and round your back, come into flexion. Then come back up. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Round your back, back in flexion. One more time. Squeeze. And then pull the elbows while you round. Nice. Come back to standing. We're going to take the hands to the ears. You're going to pull your elbows back. Excuse me. We're going to fold halfway down while you keep your elbows back. Come back up. Do it again. And last one. And now come back up, keep your hands on your ears with your elbows back, and just do a little squat. And then come back up and do a little fold. So you got a lot of work going on to the back of the shoulders, because you're constantly trying to keep the elbows back. Let's do one more squat. One more fold, and then we get to release the arms. Walk it out, meet me in your plank. Hold the plank position, feet are maybe 4 to 6 inches apart. Let's get the shoulders over the wrists. And now pull through to a down dog. Come back to plank. And just keep going between the two. Okay, now hold your plank, step your feet in so you're in bear, and you're going to just put your knees down. We're going to do some cat-cow. So round the back, drop the head, and then reverse it. Fall into your shoulders, take your gaze forward. While you're in this position, it's important to pull the stomach in. Do it again. Round the back. Maybe pull the hips back a little bit. Drop into your shoulders, take your gaze forward. One more time. Nice. Now step your feet back and meet in a high plank. You're going to step your left foot up between the hands. Take your left hand now to the inside of that foot. Put your right knee down on the floor. So we're just going to hang out in this lizard pose. Your hips are low, or they're just sort of going forward as they want to. So we're getting a nice stretch on the inner thigh of the left leg and your groin. And if you need to put a towel underneath that right knee, go ahead and do that. If you have the opportunity today to come down onto the forearms, let's try. But it's not about forcing anything. Just sort of hang out where you feel like you're getting a nice release. Come on, back up onto your hands. Take that left hand to the outside of the foot and pull your hips backwards. That left foot, the toes, push them up towards the ceiling. And then come back forward, flat on that front foot. Let your hips come low. And then rock it back. So you're just rocking forward and back. Not quickly though, we want to go nice and slow and just kind of savor it. Okay, hold the hips forward this time. Take the hand back to the instep of the front foot. So you're right back in lizard. See if you can come down onto the forearms this time. See how it feels. Hold here maybe for 3 or 4 breaths. Okay, back up to the hands. Now you're going to come off that knee, so you're in a runner's lunge. Just hold here for a sec. You want to have your knee over the ankle. And then bring your hands onto that quadricep muscle and come up with your shoulders. So you actually now have your shoulders stacked over the hips. Let's elevate nice and high on the toes on the back foot. We're going to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. So take your gaze, try to look up, and then try to get the arms nice and long. Now bring your hands to heart. We're going to lean forward with a big lean. So as you come down with your torso over that leg, you're probably feeling a lot more in the back of that left leg, and that's what we want. Now, while you feel that, I want you to rotate your shoulders to the left, and then come back square over the front leg, and then do it again. And come back square, and one more time. Take your hands down to the floor, step back, meet me in your plank. And step that right foot up between your hands. Take that right hand to the to the inside of that foot, and let's put that left knee down this time. So we're gonna hang out here, relax those hips, let them come forward, and just breathe. Again, if that left knee is bothering you, grab a towel or a pillow. Now lower to the forearms if you want to. 3 or 4 breaths while you're down here. Okay, take the hands back up. You're going to take the right hand now to the outside of that foot, rock the hips backwards, right toes up to the ceiling, and then come back forward. And then just oscillate between the two, forward and back. Nice. Now, while the hips are forward, let's try coming back down onto those forearms again. So take the right hand back to the instep of the front foot. Lower to those forearms if you can. Just hold here 3 or 4 breaths. Okay, back up with the hands. Take the right hand to the outside. Come off that back knee. Take your hands above the knee. Come up with your shoulders right over the hips. Sweep the arms all the way up, get them nice and long. Reaching for the ceiling. So you're getting a nice little stretch in this front left hip flexor. Now bring your hands over heart. We're going to lean forward. Big forward lean. So we really feel the butt working. Once you got that activation, let's rotate right with the shoulders and then come back and do it again. And come back. And one last time. Hold here just for a sec. Okay, let's take the hands down to the floor, step back, meet me in your plank. So you've got the shoulders over the wrists, your hips up in line with your back, your legs are straight. Drop into the shoulders so you don't have wings with your shoulder blades. Now let's do a nice little hover, and then we're going to meet in up dog. So come down nice and slow. Tuck your toes so you're on the tops of your feet. Let's just hold it here. Now tuck the toes under. Lift your hips back up. Come off the knees. You're right back in your plank. Let's do it again. Hover slowly. Sweep forward. You're now back to the tops of your feet. We're pulling in the belly. Even though you're getting that nice six-pack stretch. Tuck the toes under, hips up. Right back to your high plank for one more time. Hover. Sweep. Hold with the belly in. Okay, from here, we're going to pull the hips back. You're going to stay on the tops of your feet. Slowly bring the hips backwards. Open up your knees and have a seat on your heels. We're going to keep the elbows off the floor and your head. Just breathe. So as you breathe, you want to try to walk your hands further forward. And as you exhale each breath, the armpits maybe get a little closer to the floor, but it's not about forcing. Okay, come back up onto all fours. Bring your knees in, tuck your toes under, get yourself into bear, and just hold. And then put the knees back down. Lift back up. And put them down. Pay attention to what happens to the belly when you lift up. You want to be hollowing it out. Lower and lift. And just do that 3 or 4 more times. Please do not drop the face. Okay, on this last one, you're going to hold it just for a breath or 2 more. And now let's meet in the small dog. Let's get the heels down on the floor and then up high on the toes. And just keep oscillating up and down. Try to get as high as you can each time. Nice. Now, come back to your bear. Hold it here just for a few breaths. Now step your hands to the front of your mat and let's meet back in a high plank. From here, we're going to go right into pigeon. So I'm going to have you bring your right foot behind the left hand, slowly lower down onto your hips. And if this isn't comfortable, you can always do figure 4 lying down on your back. We're just going to be here for 6 breaths. So fold right over so your head is resting on the floor and just breathe. Make sure you're staying off your right hip and you're trying to get your left hip flexor towards the floor. Okay, let's come back onto the forearms, then the hands. Meet me back in your high plank. Let's do the same on the other side. So the left foot comes behind the right hand. Slowly take that right leg, slide it back. And let's enjoy the same stretch of the left. Big deep breaths. Okay, back up onto the forearms, then the hands. We're all going to be back in plank. And then take it to a down dog. Let's lift that left leg up and let's open the left hip. But I want you to equally weight both arms. Bend at the knee and lift from the knee. Take that foot down, do the same on the opposite side. Lift, open the hip. Reach for the ceiling with that foot. Nice. Come back to your high plank. Let's do that nice little hover all the way down to the floor this time with the chest. You're going to keep your hands right by your chest. Your face is just looking down at the floor. So it's important to keep your neck long when you're in this position. Now I want you to use your erectus spinae muscles that run along the spine to lift the chest up off the floor. Your face is still looking down. Just hold this muscle activation. Hollow out the belly. Now take the left hand off the floor, just an inch or 2, and then put it back down. Lift the right hand off the floor an inch or 2, and then put it back down. Keep the chest up if you can. Take a break anytime you need to. Hollow out the belly. Just breathe here a little longer. Okay, push yourself up so you're in a push-up position. And take your hips back over the heels with your toes tucked under. We're going to open up our shoulders. So your hips are just hovering over the heels. You're going to walk your hands forward. Big stretch for your lats. You're holding the head just between the arms, and now you're going to take your right palm and flip it open towards the ceiling. Lift it off the floor, and then try to reach the arm nice and long. Close it and relax. Do the same on the other side. Open, lift, and reach. And keep oscillating between the two. Now, while you do this, pay attention to the belly. I want you to keep it active. One more time on each side. And now you're going to just walk both hands off the mat to the right. Keep your hips in the exact same spot they were. We're going for a QL stretch on the left side. Just above the waistband of your pants is where we're trying to get a little release. So inch those hands forward if you can. Keep the arms long and they're off the mat to the right. Now here, I would like you to have a lot of space between the palms. So they should not be even 6 inches apart. Even get them wider. And the focus is breathing, relaxing, releasing that left side body. Okay, let's bring the hands back. We're going to the other side. Keep your hips very quiet. Don't let them move. Take the hands to the floor, left side of the mat, inch them forward. Nice little space, maybe 12 to 18 inches apart with your hands. Big stretch on that right side. We're going to come back up. We're going to get off our knees. So you're going to kick your feet to the side, have a seat, extend your legs all the way forward, and let's meet in staff pose. Our knees are going to get a nice little break. So you're sitting up nice and tall in staff. Bring the arms out in front, parallel to the floor. Now I want you to just lean back a few inches without rounding the lower back. Flex your feet. And now you're going to lift that left leg up as high as you can and bring it over to the right. Lift it back where it was. Now it's really important to hollow out the belly. Do the same on the other side. Hollow out that belly and move that leg up and over without collapsing in your low back. If you need help, you take your hands to the floor behind you while you do it to keep from rounding through that back or collapsing. The reason that we lean back is to create a little space in the hip flexors and activate your six-pack muscle. And now hold the heels in each corner. Keep the lean back, but lift the arms. So just holding this pose with the stomach in is challenging your hip flexors and the belly. Just here a little longer. Make sure you take your gaze up so you have no stress in your neck. And now we're going to round the back, take your hands to the floor, fold over in between your legs. Big, huge, deep breaths so you feel the rib cage expand as you take in as much air as you can each time you breathe. The power of breath is amazing. If you just spend a second or two thinking about how important it is to breathe throughout our day, Okay. Come on back up to where we started here in staff pose with your arms forward. Let's take that lean back again, belly in. Maybe we go a little further and just hold. Now let's do one arm at a time here. Take the right arm up and bring it back down, and then the left and back down. And just keep alternating. Make sure you're looking slightly up. Keep the belly in. Now both hands if you can, we're almost done. Both up and down, just 2 more times. Nice. Now bring the arms parallel to the floor. You're gonna C-curve the spine. How good does that feel? Suck in the belly, come down nice and slow. Great job. Head to the floor. Arms go all the way back behind you. Spread your fingers wide. Keep the hands off the floor. Now make a fist. And then open the hands back up again. And then make a fist. And open. And make a fist. And open. Hold here. Now I want you to switch up the angle. I want you to open your arms wider. So even bigger than the letter Y, but not quite directly up to the side. Just changing the angle so you get a different sensation of muscle activation through the shoulder area. Hold and breathe. Nice. Now bring those hands all the way down to the floor. Make sure you've got your heels in the front corners of your mat and you're nice and flat on your shoulder blades. So you're sort of puff out your chest. Now take your fingers and cup them. I want you to slide your feet together and then open the feet with your heels touching. So your toes are turning out to the side. And then bring the feet together and then open and close. And just do that a few more times. Now slide the left heel all the way in and then the right heel all the way in. As close to your butt as you can get your heels. And let's rock the pelvis. So lower back presses down towards the floor. Your pelvis tilts upward. And then switch it. Roll your pelvis down. Keep your arms off the floor. You've only got fingertips down. Keep rocking the pelvis. And this pace, you kind of just got to own what feels good for you. Keep the belly. I know I sound like a broken record. Keep it active, pushing inward. Okay, once you got that low back skin on the floor, peel up 1 vertebrae at a time into a bridge. Squeeze your butt cheeks. And then 1 vertebrae at a time, come on back down. When you come down, I want you to roll the pelvis down. Then roll it up. Peel up. Lift those hips as high as you can, and then back down again. Rock that pelvis forward and then back. Come on back up for a last one. Back down, extend the legs all the way down and take the arms all the way back. Spread your hands nice and wide and then make a fist. Do that 2 more times. Nice. Now spread your fingers wide, hold the arms forward, lift your head, tuck your belly, roll yourself back up, dive between your legs. So your spine, when we go up and down, stays in flexion. So you're going to come back up, back is rounding, tummy tucks, come down nice and slowly. Take it back, and we're going to do this 1 more time. Come on back down. Next. Now, if you have a towel, I want you to find it and take it around the bottom of your right foot. You're gonna straighten that right leg and hold the towel just with the right arm. Push the toes down towards your face. I want you to feel all those tendons behind your knee. Get a little stretch here. And then reverse it. Point the toes. Now you should feel the front part of the leg, the shin, point, and then toes back down. And use the towel while you hold it to keep the leg pushing towards the back of the room. Point so those toes go right up to the ceiling. Big stretch for that shin. And then switch it. And just do that a few more times. Keep the heel pushing upward. Now, forget the foot. Just try to use your right arm to move that leg a little further towards the back of your room. Now, take that heel and let it be over your hip, and then open that leg out to the side without letting your left hip separate from the floor. Once you've got the leg open to the side, you can take your left arm out to the side to help you sort of counterbalance. And then see if you can move that right leg a little further back. So you might feel something on the inside of that knee, but towards the back. Those tendons that connect through the inner thigh. Keep that left calf on the floor if you can. The left hip definitely needs to be down. Okay, bring the leg back up so the heel's over your hip. I'm gonna have you hold the towel now with your left hand. Open the right arm out across the floor. And you're just gonna guide this right leg towards the left side. Maybe 6 inches, maybe 3, whatever you feel. Whenever you feel like the right side of that right leg, you know you've gone far enough. It's your IT band, getting a nice stretch. Just hold it for a few more breaths. Nice, okay. Bend that right leg, release the towel, extend it all the way down along the floor. We're gonna do the same on the left. So towel around the bottom of the left foot. Hold on to it with your left hand. Push your right calf into the floor. Use your left arm to move the leg backwards. Now, point your toes down with your leg as straight as it can be. And then reverse it, point those toes all the way up to the ceiling. While you're pointing the toes down, I want you to push your heel out or up. And just keep oscillating between the two. Slowly. And keep trying to move that foot backwards, or leg, I should say. Okay, now keep the foot flexed but quiet. Move the leg a little further back. Now let's be mindful. Your right arm opens to the side. Your right hip and calf stay on the floor. Take that left leg a little to the left. You decide how far you can go with it. You just want to feel that nice inner thigh stretch. It's not about rolling off of the right hip. It's about keeping that right hip down and really isolating the inner thigh. Now, if you can take that left leg a little more towards the back of the room, just for a different angle, why not? Okay, let's slowly bring it back up. Push the heel to the sky. Change hands with the towel. Open your left arm out across the floor. Slowly guide the left leg across the body towards the right side. You decide how far. Just enjoy that nice stretch. It's perfectly normal to feel it in a different spot on the other side. Our bodies are not exactly identical. Okay, let's bring the leg back up, release the towel. Both knees are gonna pull into the chest. Make a little circle with your knees together, just giving your lower back a little love. Go the other way. Now bring your arms inside the legs and let's take hold of the outsides of our feet. Let's all meet in happy baby. So your heels face the ceiling and you use your arms to pull your knees closer to the floor. Keep the low back skin down so you haven't rolled off the floor. You can add a gentle rock if you like. Okay, bring both knees together. We're gonna lift the head up and tuck ourselves into a tiny little ball. So if you can wrap your forearms around your shins, touching opposite elbows, you can try it. And then release the head back to the floor. Take your legs all the way down. You're gonna roll onto the right side of your body and you're gonna have both your arms reaching out. Stack your hands. You got bends in the legs. Now you're gonna sweep this left arm up, across the body and open it to the left side. So you stretch out that left chest. Try to keep your knees together. It's not about how far you open. It's just about what feels good. And then take the hands and bring them back together. Stack your palms. Your head is down on the floor. And then open. Let it go all the way across again. You might get a little closer to the floor with the arm. Come on back, connect those palms. We're going to open one more time. Now let's take that left arm straight up towards the ceiling. And your palm is opened to the right side of your room. From here, you're just going to take that arm backwards behind you, as far as you can. And then bring it up again, all the way down until your forearm touches your hip. Sweep it back. Really good stretch for the lat and the shoulder blade. Bring it forward. Take it back. Bring it back up. You're going to relax back onto your back and we're going to switch over to the other side. So you got a little bend in the legs, your head is down, your arms are out to the side, connect your palms. Sweep that right arm all the way up and over till you feel a really great stretch. And then bring those hands back together. Sweep them back, opening the chest. I also feel this in my upper hips, which is great, upper glutes. Hopefully you do too. Sweep back. And let's do it one more time. Okay, bring the arm so it's straight up to the ceiling. Spread your fingers wide, your palm is open to the left side of your room. Take the arm backwards. How good does that feel? And then bring it forward, right down over to your hip. Sweep it back. Keep the arm really long. You gotta reach it and down, and one more time. Next, now come all the way back onto your back. Extend those legs all the way down along the floor. Take your arms back, full body stretch. Hollow out the belly while you do this full body stretch. Okay, now take your hands, reach them up, lift your head, peel yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Rounding the back, you're gonna open the legs this time as wide as you can get them and round down onto the floor. So your spine is rounding, your head is relaxing. Stay here for 3 more big breaths. If you can walk your hands out a little further, go for it. Okay, walk the hands back. You're going to take the feet, bring them back so they're hip width apart. We're going to take that right foot, tuck it inside your left thigh. And then come on down, maybe grab hold of that left foot. And if you can lower the elbows to the floor and round your back, folding over that left leg, just hang out here and breathe. And then walk it back up, extend the right leg out, do the same on the other side. Fold over, hold that foot or whatever you can grab. Lower those elbows to the floor if you can. Okay, come on back up. You're going to sit here with your legs bent. Your hands are behind you. Just let the knees roll to the left and then let them roll to the right. You got space between your feet, maybe a little more than hip width, and just sort of oscillate from side to side. We're almost done. Okay, pull those feet in. You're going to use your hands to come up all the way up onto the toes. We have one more IT band stretch before we sign off. So let's meet in a full fold. Take your right foot, cross it over the left, and drive those hips as far back as you can. Fold your upper body down, let your head go, just look at your knee. You can have your fingers on the floor to help you balance here. So if you can, those toes are in the same line. Getting this stretch all the way down the outside of that left leg. It should feel fabulous. Okay, using your fingers, move your hips forward so you can uncross and then go over with your left foot over the right this time. Hips move back, holding down over that leg. Let your head go, look at your left knee this time. Try to unweight the upper body completely if you can. Okay, you're gonna keep those hands forward, move your body weight forward, uncross, get 4 to 6 inches between your feet, inhale and extend to a flat back. With the fingertips on the floor, I want you to move your hips backwards and I want you to walk your hands forward. Hold here, just let your head be inside the arms. Just like your ears. Think about rotating that coccyx bone up towards the ceiling. Your legs are perfectly straight if they can be. Inch those fingers a little further forward. Take 2 more big breaths. Nice job. Hands above the knee, knees up, come up nice and slow. Take that right arm, sweep it up. Take the left one, sweep it up, reach for the ceiling. And bring your hands over heart. I thank you guys so much for your power and strength. Woohoo! Stretchy bendy.
Hello, that was good. Thank you, Pierce.